మీరు కొన్ని క్వశ్చన్స్ అడిగారు కదా.
Yes.
ఇది స్ట్రైట్ ఫార్వర్డ్గా చెప్పడానికి కొద్దిగా టైం పడుతుంది బికాస్ బ్యాక్గ్రౌండ్ ఇన్ఫర్మేషన్ ఇవ్వాలి. ఓకే,
Hmm.
సో ఫస్ట్ థింగ్ వచ్చి వై కమలా లాస్ట్ అని అన్నారు కదా. ఓకే, లెట్ మీ షేర్ మై స్క్రీన్. ఓకే, ఫస్ట్ క్వశ్చన్ మీరు అడిగారు కదా, వై కమలా లాస్ట్ ద ఎలక్షన్స్. ఓకే, సో దీనికి హిస్టరీ చెప్పాలంటే వీ నీడ్ టు గో బ్యాక్ టు 2020 ఎలక్షన్స్. ఓకే,
Ah,
2020 ప్రైమరీస్. ఓకే, so simple, she dropped out of the primaries
yeah.
on December 19th. Okay, citing like she doesn't have enough money. That's primary reason. But the actual reason could be like there are not many sponsors who are actually interested in sponsoring her to go to the delegates. That's the primary reason. Okay.
Yeah.
Now let's go one year further to look at 2020 primary candidates. Okay, like Joe Biden's, Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, Bloomberg, and Pete Buttigieg. Okay, out of these five people,
Yeah.
only Joe Biden has won. Okay, that means these five people has at least some presence, and there are delegates who are really interested in
Yeah.
their point of view. So she was nowhere seen in the at least the first primary five candidates also.
Mm.
Okay, which indirectly shows lack of support or popularity among democratic voter base itself as well as
Mm.
delegates also. Okay, that's the primary reason. Okay, now after 2020 when she became vice president, you have seen her a very less presence in the first 3.5 years. Okay,
Yeah.
literally nothing. Like at least when Trump was president and vice president used to be right next to him, and there will be a equal share of responsibilities and work that used to happen, but it did not happen under Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. Okay, so definitely the wrong message has already communicated to the public that despite she being a vice presidential candidate, she was nowhere seen in the policy making. Okay,
You're talking
these are
about
the
Kamala Harris, right?
Kamala Harris. Yes.
Yeah, yeah, correct. We'll go in
So
English only because
yeah,
some of people are
yep,
following non-Telugu. They will get
yep.
upset. Yeah.
So that's the primary reason. Okay,
Why she
and
lost, right?
why she lost. Okay,
Yeah.
like the enough groundwork for her lost has already been properly laid by not only her own mistakes but also based on her past
Yeah.
experience and mistakes as well. Okay. Now coming back to the 2024,
Yeah.
she got a really good boost when Joe Biden dropped out, but if she gradually keeps coming down every couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, the primary reason she lacked the policy what she wants to do and communicating that policy, and also she did not take a perfect stand whether to be in terms of like supporting one particular view or not. Okay, she was like dancing around one side to the other and trying to avoid pretty much all the topics,
Yeah.
thinking that she might land into some sort of um, issues.
Yeah.
That's where actually she totally lost it. Trump, on
Yeah.
the other hand, he was pretty adamant when it comes to the policy and he stick to that. He openly communicated like,
Yeah.
this is my policy. And despite getting backlash on a couple of them, he did not back down. He said like, yes, this is what I want to do. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, that's the reason why she lost. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why Trump won? Now, here is got gets interesting. So, if you see the 2016
Yeah.
electoral map, okay, he won Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Michigan, okay, North Carolina, Georgia, Arizona, okay.
Yeah.
He got only 304 versus 227, okay. And look at what happened in 2020, okay. He lost Pennsylvania,
Yeah.
Michigan, Wisconsin, Georgia, Arizona.
So
and
you are
it's
talking about
won
this year or previous time?
2020,
2020.
2016 and 2016 and 2020.
Yeah.
Okay, so one, two, three, four, five states he lost.
Yeah.
All five are swing states. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you look at the margin of loss, they're really small,
Yeah.
razor thin margin. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, why he lost in 2020? There is the only reason that I can think at that time was, despite being a pandemic, there are a
Yeah.
lot of students and some people who moved out of like dominant blue states
Yeah.
to some of the swing states, okay,
Yeah.
and where they established the voter registration. Some of them could be students and who used to live there, but they may be studying in other states.
Yeah.
They moved back.
Yeah.
So the young people are more or less inclined towards voting for Democrats based on their
Yeah.
college education and all those things, being living in the cosmopolitan and metropolitan cities. Okay,
Yeah.
that's the primary reason why uh, Biden has an edge over Trump on 2020
Yeah.
due to the pandemic. Due to the pandemic, okay,
Yeah.
where most of the people are confined to their hometowns or houses,
Yeah.
and most of them are either outside. Half of them is moved to the swing states. That's
Yeah.
actually helped. Okay, there are a couple of states which he genuinely lost due to the few instances also. Okay,
Yeah.
like David Mike Floyd instances and all. Okay, but if you look at the 2024, he won all the seven swing states.
Yeah.
Okay, so he I think he's literally poised to get almost like 312.
Yeah.
So compared with 2016, 2020, and 2024, so he literally has regained what he lost.
Yeah.
Okay, and this time and all, the majority what Trump got in these states was higher than what he got when he contested with Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Because when contested with against Hillary Clinton, he did not get the popular vote,
Oh, yeah.
and this time he got the popular vote also,
Yeah.
which shows that out of the two candidates, people prefer Trump over Kamala Harris,
Kamala
and
Harris.
it's
Yeah.
reflecting in the popular vote also, and it's reflecting in the swing states also.
Because our presence is not there.
Yes,
Yeah.
literally her presence, no one has felt.
Yeah. I
Okay,
believe it's Biden, what you call the previous speech failed, then suddenly they bring her, right?
I mean, if they could have kept Biden, maybe it could have been a really tough fight.
Yeah. Because he is
But
unable to compete
yeah,
with Trump.
being an incumbent, he may hold a little bit of edge, but
Mm.
to even he would have lost
Mm.
if, but the majority would be slightly different at that time.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the next question which you're asking is
Yeah.
impact on USA and the globe, the Trump effect. Okay, so the next when talk about the impact on the rest of the globe, first we need to look at Trump and his during his 2016 to 2020 presidency. He was a bit say aggressive towards NATO. Uh, that US is spending more on defense, but NATO is spending less on defense, which I totally agree
Yeah.
because up until that point, NATO allies doesn't want to buy any of their advanced weapons.
Yeah.
They're expecting US to actually support them, but NATO is a big group of organizations that US, along with their soldiers, they cannot
Yeah.
protect all the countries if the war happens at a time.
Entertain. Yeah.
Yeah, so they want some of their presence too, which it was like a delayed and lethargic response from some of the NATO members, especially in increasing their ammunition and next generation warplanes and all. Okay, so now it's gonna improve.
Yeah.
As a result, it's affecting the US in a positive way. That's one thing,
Yeah.
like increasing of advanced weapons by the NATO members, especially with considering the impact of Ukraine war and the political dynamics with Russia
Yeah.
and sensitive nature of the Eastern Europe, which is
Yeah.
probably aligning with Russia. So they may end up procuring more weapons, advanced weapons, and then try to
Yeah.
stay vigilant and possibly expect Trump to align with
Yeah.
their views as well. That's the only way they can able to bring Trump on his side. If the follow 2016 approach, it's not going to happen. Okay,
Yeah.
compared with relationship with Israel and India, he has
Yeah.
a really good relationship with Israel and India. So Israel will have definitely have a free hand,
Yeah.
and I would expect like he would bring some
Yeah.
sort of a peace. But again, if you ask me like at what expense, I'm anticipating that
Yeah.
either they may end up attacking Iran to some extent, or
Yeah.
they may end up neutralizing some of the places, some of the terrorists in like Hezbollah or
Yeah.
Houthis. Okay, because especially they want to target Houthis because they are attacking all the vessels in Red Sea, which is affecting the trade. And Biden actually did not make much progress on containing that incident.
Yeah.
But Trump would definitely be aggressive on that front. If that's the case, then there will be a little bit of disturbances happening in the
Yeah.
first few months, but it will definitely establish some sort of peaceful environment on the Middle East to some extent.
Yeah.
And again, if Iran wants to go for war, then it will be like a little escalation. But I don't expect them to go for war because they're badly wounded and they would definitely need some time to recoup and improve their ammunition. So most likely, it's going to be, I would say, what Joe Biden has not done on the Middle East. He has a great chance to do,
Yeah.
and most likely it's going to happen. And Ukraine, I think most likely he will ask them to make a peace deal and maybe cut down even some of the funding
Yeah.
as well. Possibilities there. Okay, and but main problem down the road, it's not just that, but it's the economy as a whole.
Yeah.
Okay, that I want to explain you why I feel it's really important for everyone to understand what sort of mess that happened in the last few years, especially from a spending point of view.
Yeah.
Okay, so before going to that, I like to show the deficit tracker for US. Okay,
Okay.
in like 2019 and 2020, that's when actually Trump was there. Okay, if you see the 2019 trend, okay, the deficit spending is like less than $1 trillion.
Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
984 billion. Okay, but 2020 it has gone up because we end up printing almost like a $6 trillion due
Yeah.
to COVID.
Yeah.
Okay, but after 2020, 2021, Biden came to power. We still end up racking all the uh, excessive uh, spending,
Yeah.
and 2024 it stands at 1.83 billion dollars. Okay, like 1.8, sorry, 1.83 trillion dollars. Okay,
Okay. Okay.
so compared with 2014, which is like a 0.94, okay, less than $1 trillion to
Yeah.
almost $1.8 trillion.
Yeah.
Okay, that means it's almost doubled in 5 years time.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, deficit spending. Okay, now here is what an interesting thing that you need to see. So overall federal spending, okay, where we are spending right now. Okay, see, $1.7 trillion on Department of Health and Human Services. This would include human services. This would include illegal immigration as well. I don't know because we probably have to go and check. Okay, $1.5 trillion for Social Security Administration. I think this is consistently staying more or less at the 1.3 to 1.5 trillion dollars, which is absolutely fine. The Treasury,
Yeah.
$1.3 trillion, which includes
The
like
first, yeah, sorry to
yes,
interrupt. The first one,
mm,
basically, All illegal immigrants are eating the taxpayers' money, right?
No, I can't say that because we need to look
Yeah.
at that because it includes health and human services. Okay,
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay.
it could be FEMA as well. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
that's what I want. Okay, now Department of Defense $826 billion. Okay, I mean, when Trump first took over, it was almost like $630 billion.
Yeah,
That has gradually increased based on
yeah,
I would say GDP growth, and it has gone up to like $26 billion, which it would cover even the development of new equipments as well as covering war and securities in the Middle East, especially providing security to Saudi
yeah,
and other NATO allies and South Korea and all. Okay, so it's not a significant increase. It's kind of like on par or aligned with the GDP growth.
yeah,
Okay, so all these things, agriculture, these are all pretty much the less. But Department of Homeland Security is almost like $89 billion. Okay, and other spending, I'm still not sure what else embedded there. That accounts for almost like $238 billion.
yeah.
Okay.
This is about US, how they are spending budget, right?
Yes,
Dollar comes
yes,
in, now dollar goes out.
yes. And you know how much they're spending in the
Yeah,
last 4 years? $6.7 trillion this year. Okay.
$7. Yeah,
So, and let's go and check the debt held. Okay. See, debt held by the public is almost $28.7 trillion. Okay.
okay.
Okay. And intra-governmental is about $7.4 trillion. Okay.
Mm.
But compared with 2014 to 2024 in these 10 years, okay, it's almost doubled.
So that
Yeah,
shows the Biden Democrats administration
uh,
failed, right?
I'll come to that. Okay,
Yeah, okay.
I'll come to that.
Okay, I
Okay,
should not conclude and jump
yeah,
like,
yeah. We should not conclude that. Okay,
yeah.
that's okay. But here is what. Okay, this is total revenue to total debt. Okay,
Hmm.
total revenue. Okay, in term, this is GDP. Okay, look at the revenue. Where total revenue, it's like 4.7 trillion dollars. It has gone up, gone down. Pretty much, it stayed flat in the last 10 years.
Yeah,
Okay, like 4.92 average. Okay, our GDP is growing up like 28 steadily. Okay,
yeah,
which shows okay our income's the same, our GDP is growing. Okay, but deficit spending has gone up quite a lot. Okay, now this is where it should get really interesting. Okay,
yeah,
and let's see. Yeah, look at that. Okay, this is the national debt. Okay, which
yeah,
stands at $36 trillion. But if you look at 24, it's almost 2014, it was $23 trillion. Okay,
mm,
now look at what happened after 2020.
yeah,
Okay, and in the last 3 4 years. Okay, 2 3 years I would say. Okay, 2022 to 2024. Okay, it's almost $3 trillion. Okay,
yeah,
like 2022 it was 32.86.
yeah,
Now 35.46, almost $3 trillion in 2 years time, and we're still at up to November 2024 only.
yeah,
Okay, that means how much we spent on an average $1.5 trillion.
yeah.
Okay, and that's exactly what Elon Musk was telling in the one of the interview that
Okay.
uh, we the government spending of $2 trillion excess is there that we need to contain. Okay, that's what causing the issue.
Okay.
Understand? Okay, now when you look at your federal income or
Mm.
the revenue generation, okay, versus how much you're spending, so $4.9 trillion versus $6.7 trillion, it was roughly about $1.83 trillion deficit. Okay,
Basically,
and
the previous government is in deficit, right?
last 20, 10 years and all, it's in deficit.
Deficit.
Okay,
Yeah.
so to some extent, it was actually contained during Trump time, if I'm not mistaken, to some
Mm.
extent. Okay, but as the COVID stuck, it
Yeah.
has gone up. Okay,
No. Yeah.
so that I can say. Okay, now I'm trying to get one more good graph which shows how it was actually gone up over a period of time. Okay, let's see. Okay, let's go to images. I mean, these things you can find it in internet, but you probably have to look at it in a proper way to understand.
Yeah.
Okay, how actually it's reflecting. Okay, uh, not this one.
My folks mostly on H1B, and they are having questions on H1B. Will Trump
Yeah, yeah.
definitely
I mean,
like this?
this is important
Yeah,
because
yeah, yeah. Got it.
we are spending 1.8 trillion dollars more than our earning or okay our
Yeah.
revenues.
Yeah.
Okay, so that needs to be cut down. Otherwise, you keep going in terms of the adding to the national debt, which
Yeah.
would actually is a catastrophic impact.
Yeah.
So that's what Elon Musk told, and that's what Trump also want to look at it. Okay,
Yeah.
but the point would be how he will tackle economic growth versus this.
Yeah.
Because if you end up reducing your revenues, then it will impact your ability to pay or ability to borrow also.
Yeah.
You end up borrowing more.
Can you
Okay. Yeah.
enlarge those questions so that I put the mobile on YouTube live?
Okay.
Yeah, you can little enlarge.
So now, the economy, jobs, and recessions, these three would actually look answered by me in the trade deficit and all. Okay,
Okay.
since US is a big consumer
Yeah.
and spending, economy depends on spending. Okay, but if somehow US government decided that they want to cut down that 1.8 trillion dollars deficit by other
Mhm.
means, out of which I believe $1 trillion, $1.1 trillion is purely to pay interest on the debt.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's why I'm looking at the chart, but I did not find it. But almost $1.1 trillion we're paying on the interest on the
Interest
debt.
on the debt, what we will borrow,
Yes,
correct?
exactly. Okay, so you can't keep on paying the interest, but you need to
If
pay some
we
principal.
correlate even Andhra Pradesh government in India earlier, whatever the government, successive governments have borrowed huge loans, and whatever they take money, again, most of it goes to again repay of the loans.
Yes, yes. That's exactly what now we are going to reach into tipping point of that
Yeah.
economy.
Like for
Okay.
example, my income is $100.
Mm.
I'm spending $10,000, right? Where do I fill that
Yes,
gap? It will be like a
yes,
financial disaster, correct?
yes. And a financial disaster in making, and
Mm.
it's going to go up only when it
Yeah.
comes to paying the interest. So now we reach to almost like a tipping point where
Yeah.
to pay the interest,
Yeah.
okay, like that if the deficit is 1.8 trillion dollars and
Mm.
you need to pay $1 trillion only on interest,
Yeah.
that means to pay the interest you need to take another debt.
Yeah.
Okay, so this will be compounding,
It is like,
like,
yeah.
and you don't need much time also.
Yeah.
Like within next 5 years or so you'll see the
Yeah.
interest rate almost like double or triple. Okay,
Yeah.
not interest rate, the interest amount. That means it can go from $1.1 trillion to 2.5 or $3 trillion within 5 to 7 years.
Yeah.
Okay, that will be even more catastrophic. Okay, so the current government need to contain it now. Okay, cut down the spending. Okay, where they will
Okay.
cut down, that's the question. Okay, he cannot achieve both growth and uh, deficit. Cut down the deficit at a time. So
Okay.
he, so there should be a short-term pain that's definitely needed
Yeah.
in order to have a long-term growth or perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, so we may end up seeing a slight recession if government decides that they want to cut the spending.
Yeah.
Okay, they probably have to look at other ways of even raising the taxes also. But by the way, Joe Biden said he wants to raise the taxes. He raised the taxes, but he never worried about
Yeah.
cut down the spending. Okay,
Yeah.
that is where actually it's getting really ugly. Okay, now definitely short term pain is definitely needed
Yeah.
in order to bring this under control. Okay, Otherwise, it will be like free fall.
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't know when it's gonna happen. Hopefully, if it happens sooner, the impact will be less. If it's happened fast, the impact will be more. Okay. Now coming to the next topic, which is like India and H1B topics.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is where mostly my
Yeah. So
received the questions. Yeah.
so this is again tied to the economy and recession and jobs. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
So if the economy is doing good, then we have more requirements, and then definitely they opt for people on H1. Okay.
Yeah.
If the economy is bad, then the citizens and green card holders are don't have jobs,
Mm.
then you can't expect a new H1Bs applying for a petition at all. Okay.
Yeah. That means 2025 March quota and October quota is doubtful, right?
If we see a recession in the next couple of months, it will be doubtful.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if it so happens that they might fill the quota, but a recession might hit in April.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
Ah, yeah.
If
By that.
that happens, then getting approval, picking up in the lottery is not an issue, but getting approvals will be a bigger challenge.
Yeah.
Okay, and it affects the people who are already here as well, because
Yeah.
getting renewals also sometimes will be challenged.
Then what about those who bought houses on H1B and
See, when a citizen actually bought a house and he lost, okay,
mm,
they look at the ability to repay.
okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So for him, he may get a job in 2 months or 3 months. Okay,
Yeah.
then things would get back to normal. But for H1, you have only 60 days to stay, and if you don't find the job, you probably have to leave. If you are married, then you can do like H4, H1, H4 to H1 and all. Okay, but the point would be
Yeah. Got it.
how will you handle that is up to the individual. Okay,
Yeah. Case to case. We cannot
case to case,
generalize.
case
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
case to case. Okay,
Yeah.
but if they end up in your home based on a peer
Yeah.
pressure, you don't see a pressure at that time, because
Mhm.
you'll have all the pleasure of having a new home.
Yeah.
Okay, so pleasure
Yeah.
first, then the pressure will come. Okay,
Yeah. Yeah. So do you?
where under this, yes, especially when things go bad, then it will be a huge pressure. I'll tell you
Yeah.
an example. In 2008, the people who bought a home in San Francisco, both the husband and wife lost a job. Okay,
Mm. Both are on
that guy,
H1B.
both are on H1B. They couldn't take it up. They
Yeah.
couldn't take up that pressure. Okay, they actually took a gun, shot themselves, and committed suicide.
Listen, yeah. That's what even one Gujarati couple also committed suicide after both lost jobs. They have a gun also. They,
That's what that, that's that's what I'm telling, because you are not living the life for sake of someone else. Okay, you're living life for yourself. Okay, and if you can't handle that a small thing, then
yeah.
it's difficult. I've
Yeah.
seen one of my friend who doesn't have job for almost 3 4 months. Okay, he used to get disappointed, but I keep uh, I keep on talking to him. Okay, not to worry. But after 3 or 4 months, he got a job. Okay,
Mm.
so
But
that's
one friend said you leave everything as it is and go out of the country forever, right? If you come back, they will catch you. But if they have so much of credit and everything, instead of dying, I'm saying, instead of commit suicide, they can go back to home, right?
uh, yes or no, because
Yeah,
eventually it come to a point where you
individual
need
call.
to be cognizant enough to look
Yeah,
at how much you're earning and how much you are paying your debt. Okay,
got it.
and you need to keep an eye on those checks and balances. Just like the US trade deficit. Okay, if you end up borrowing more, okay,
Yeah.
you
We,
end up racking credit card debt. Okay,
we left with 8 minutes. Do you want me to upgrade to Pro Zoom call? I put
no,
on
no, that's it.
the 8 minutes enough for us for
Yeah, 8 minutes. 8 minutes will be enough for us. Okay.
yeah,
Now, the I don't want to discuss about the abortion laws, because it's it's not going to change anytime soon.
yeah,
So eventually, an administration should come. They have to
mm,
bring in a new laws
yeah,
which should not be challenged. I think it needs to be decisive bipartisan support at
yeah,
lawmakers level, then only it will happen. So
Yeah.
I think there is a time for that. Probably another 10 years down the road. Okay.
Yeah. Next,
Now,
illegal immigrants.
illegal immigration, that is actually going to be really tough
Yeah.
for folks. Okay, because if you look at the 2016 time frame, okay, and even to some extent legal as well.
Yeah.
So in Trump established a green card interview must for almost all the applicants at that time. Okay,
Yeah.
so that might actually come back again for H-1B folks. That's
Okay.
one thing. Okay, the visa renewals, they will be a little bit strict, unlike the Joe Biden time where you get a visa renewals for
Yeah.
easily. That's not going to happen, and he might actually take out a premium processing for EB-1As.
Oh, you will remove premium processing.
Yes, yes, he will let the people scrutinize the case
Yeah.
thoroughly before making a decision. He may end up the number of or visa officers working on those cases also. Okay,
Yeah.
that's possible. And whoever filed for EB-1, I think next couple of months is the best of time to get to upgrade to premium and get an approval. Okay, again,
Those who are in
uh,
EB2 or EB1, you are talking about
EB2
EB1.
or EB2 or EB1. Okay,
Yeah.
they can the best is they can do premium, and if it is approved it will be approved. Okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
On the
those who,
illegal,
before Trump, President-elect Trump make any changes, those who have received green card, they are lucky people, correct?
yes, even if you receive a 140 approval, that's you're lucky.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying that you won't get an I-140 approval after that, but you do
Yeah.
get it, but the process will be really slow. Okay?
Yeah. Got it.
Yeah, and there will be a lot of paperwork required, and RFEs will be like a part of a process.
Yeah.
Now, for the illegal immigrants, I think he might reinstate all the deals he made with Mexico.
Just deport, right?
Deporting is definitely on cards, even though they might put a legal challenges on that one. I don't think he will stop this time
Mm.
because the Supreme Court is conservative and they know the challenges by bringing in the people because it's illegal from a immigration point of view as well.
Yeah. There is
Okay,
no meaning
like
of immigration.
exactly,
Right?
exactly. So even Supreme Court might say no, he has an every right to do that. And let's say uh, Biden administration has deported hundreds of people like a week, Indians like a week ago.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, if Indians are deported, why can't be other illegal immigrants? Okay.
Yeah.
Right. That's the
Yeah.
argument Trump is going to make.
Yeah.
And what will even the Supreme Court might say no.
Yeah.
Okay. They might not say no to that.
Like when you deport X, why can't I deport Y?
Exactly. 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 Now,
Yeah.
if any Democrat say it's illegal, that means what they did also illegal. That means they're discriminating Indians, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That is exactly what I'm saying.
Mm.
So outright deportations can happen. To what extent, we don't know. But based on many information that's going around, he might be little stringent this time. Like if they can see anyone on the border
Yeah.
crossing illegally, he is authorizing them to shoot also.
Shoot. Yeah. Shoot at site
Okay?
orders.
Yes,
Yeah.
that will, I mean that will be really bad, but he can take that decision
Yeah.
provided uh, it doesn't
Mm.
land any legal issues for him,
Yeah.
which I believe he will definitely try to get it through Supreme Court also. Okay,
Yeah.
but it's going to be really tough for
Yeah.
the illegal immigrants, and most likely he's gonna work on the mistakes he has done in the in his previous term.
Yeah.
Like he might have made sure there will be a law passed for the illegal immigrant through Senate and Republican.
Yeah.
Okay, if possible by force.
Yeah.
You try to sign an executive order and then make them, okay, this is the executive order first, then you go and make a bill.
Yeah.
So, and now the Elon Musk, if he is part of the government, then first thing he will do is how to
Yeah.
get these bills passed. Like Modi in 1.0 and 2.0, he used to do that. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't even care about
Here
bringing
anybody.
some of the bills. Yes, so that can happen. Now, Modi in 3.0, he was aggressive, but he was trying to be a bit cautious not to have any communal violence,
Yeah.
race, or spark during his time now, because he's taking up all the controversial bills and
Yeah.
reforms. So I think part of the US government, like Joe Biden administration, was against him, and that's why he was a bit cautious. Now with Trump being in the White House, and based on the relationship, if Trump says like, okay, I'm going to support your decision, means then Modi 3.0 will see like another aggressive approach gonna
Yeah.
happen, and the same holds true even for Israel as well. It will be like BB 2.0, like BB is like Netanyahu nickname. So you'll see him going aggressive approach as well.
Yeah. After this, 1 minute left. After this is done, can we reconnect to make Telugu
Yeah.
version?
I think
But
this
then,
version should be fine. Yeah.
fine, right? Yeah. It's
Yes.
9 o'clock for you there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay then.
Yeah.
Thank you
But
very much for,
yeah.
yeah, you can continue until till end or you want me to end?
Uh, just end the recording. We'll talk, and then.
Yeah, sure. Just.
So